lovelies, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I hope you enjoy this video. Check out some of my other content and subscribe to my channel. Make sure that you give this video a thumbs up and leave a comment down below. So today's video, I am doing full coverage gel tips, and I'm also doing dip powder with a gel base coat. I have done this before, but I wanted to do a step-by-step and then troubleshoot a few things. So the first thing that you want to do is prep your nails. I am working on my practice hand, so my prep is a little bit different. But prep your nails, push back your cuticles, etch the surface of your nails, and then you also want to pick out the sizes of your tips. Your tips might not fit perfectly the cuticle area, and that's okay, but you have to make sure that it does fit sidewall to sidewall. Your tips might not fit flat against your nail if you have a flatter nail, just based on the shape of the tips. And that's one of the things that I wanted to address in this video, which you will see shortly. So just pick out all your tips. Make sure, again, that you're fitting sidewall to sidewall. If the cuticle area doesn't fit perfectly, then you can just file that to the right shape. You then want to go in and etch the inside of these tips. So whatever is going to be touching your nail plate, you want to make sure that surface is etched. So all of the gel and the base coat and the primer, all that can adhere. And gel's not going to adhere to a shiny surface. And also make sure that you get all of the dust off the nails and off the tips. These tips are Gel X tips that I purchased off AliExpress. I do have videos using Kiara Sky as well as Enel Couture, and I do have a playlist that will be linked at the end of this video for full coverage nail tips. I'm using the Prep and Primer from Kiara Sky's Jelly Tip Kit. And again, I will link some of those videos in the cards above, but I do have a playlist with all of the different brands that I've used for full coverage gel tips, and that will be at the end, on the end screen of this video. So if I was doing this on my natural nails, I would probably go in with 2 coats of each, but each coat, make sure you don't oversaturate the nail and let it dry in between coats. So first dehydrate the nail and then go in with a primer. So for the gel, I'm going to be using Madam Glam's base coat and Madam Glam's Builder Gel in a bottle. Madam Glam's Builder Gel in a bottle is one of my favorites. As you can see, in a few minutes, I am at the end of this bottle. So first you want to go in with a thin, even layer of base coat on your nail plate or natural nails, and then you want to cure that in the lamp for 30 seconds. Inside of the full coverage tips, I do a layer of the builder gel, and then I go in with the bulk of the builder gel that I'm going to be using for the tips. And I do place most of that at the cuticle area, so it can, when I place it on the nail, it can fill in the spaces that need to be filled from the top to the bottom. And you kind of have to play with it a little bit to get enough builder gel underneath the nail, and it is a process learning not to put too much, just how much is the right amount, and that's honestly something you have to practice with. On this thumbnail, I could have used a little bit more in the cuticle area because that area lifted. So the full coverage tip isn't the same exact shape as my natural nail plate, which is the builder gel should fill in those gaps. However, it doesn't always do that. And the more you put, sometimes you might just get that all over your skin, and that can cause allergies and cause lifting. So on these first 2 nails, I wasn't able to achieve that. And after I fully cure them, I will show you how to fix it. I didn't take the nail off, or I didn't try and add more gel. I just moved on to the next nail, and I'm gonna fix that in filing. And don't feel like just because you see people applying it perfectly in clips or on videos that that's the first time that they did, or that they practice, or that they haven't practiced. It takes practice to kind of get this down. It is a great system to help you with the structure of the nail and the shaping. However, the application isn't always the easiest. There's a lot of variables that go into it, and the shape of your natural nails and the shape of the tips have a lot to do with it. And then you have to figure out how much builder gel in a bottle, or how much builder gel to put in between that. So you do want to do your best to make sure that it is adhered and there's no gaps between the natural nail and the gel, especially at the tip of your nail, the free edge. But if it doesn't adhere all the way to the cuticle area, that's not the biggest of deals. And you can see here, like, I've used all this builder gel in a bottle. It is one of my favorites. So again, just make sure there's no bubbles in the middle of the nail or any gaps between the free edge and the nail tip. We can fix the cuticle area, and that's an easier area to fix when applying these full coverage tips than a bubble in the middle. So don't put a lot of pressure on yourself. Again, this is something that I still mess up on. Clearly, the first two nails, I didn't do a very good job. But again, I will show you how to fix that. So the lamp that I'm using is a lamp from XVX. And what I'm doing is just flash curing these tips for about 15-20 seconds. And then I'm going to go in once I have all the nails secure by flash curing. Then I'm going to put them in the big lamp and cure that for a full 60 seconds. So they're attached, but that gel underneath is not 100% cured, and they will pop off. So just make sure you're also fully curing the product. I know a lot of videos, and I may have said this in one of my videos, I flash cure, but I might not say that I put it in the big lamp. So now I am going in with an sanding band, arbor band, and I'm just going around the cuticle area. And what I'm focusing on here is that part of that gel full coverage tip that did not adhere to the natural nail plate. Now I'm using my flexi hand. I did pull the nail out a little bit just so it's easier for me to work around the cuticle area. So you won't have that advantage clearly when you're doing your nails, but you can tell by looking at the nail the different colors. It looks like a lifted nail because it's not sheer. It's kind of opaque, and that's the area that I would need to take off the nail and blend the rest of the nail into the nail. I would have to take off the gel tip and blend the rest of the gel tip in with the natural nail. And that might not make the most sense, but I'm going to show you again here. There is an area that did not adhere, and so I'm just going to file over that and just remove that part that did not adhere. And then I'm just going to blend the rest in with the natural nail. You can go in here with a different bit. I just did the sanding band because that was already in my e-file. So you can go in with a safety bit, a 5-in-1, a carbide, a ceramic, but you just want to make sure your speed isn't very high because you are working around your cuticle area, you're close to your skin, and you're blending in a gel tip with your natural nail plate. So you want to work on a very slow speed and really just take your time and make sure your e-file keeps moving so that you're not filing in the same spot. And then you also want to etch the surface of the rest of the gel tip. Okay, so after I have all the cuticle areas clean and blended, I am going to go ahead and take all the dust off the nails. And for my application, I'm going to be using a nude color, and that's for the purpose of this video, so you can kind of see where the acrylic is on the nail. If I did clear, then it would just look like I had an even application. So I just want to use something with a little bit of pigment. This nude is by Not Polish, and the base coat I'm using again is by Madam Glam. For the drill, I'm sorry, for the dust collector, that was a dust collector that I did get from McCart. So I'm just gonna go in with an even layer of the base coat, and I want to make sure around the cuticle area where I took off some of that tip, I want to make sure that that application is smooth and even as well. So after I've applied the base coat, I'm just going to make sure that I apply the dip powder all over that nail. Now this dip powder by Not Polish is a 2-in-1 acrylic, so their acrylics can be used as acrylic and as dip powder. I do have a code for Not Polish products, and that is in the description box below. I also have a code for McCart products, which will be in the description box below as well. So I'm just going to go through each nail and make sure that I have as even as a layer of the base coat, and then just pour the powder over it. Because these nails are long, I'm using the method of pouring. If these nails were a little bit shorter, I would be dipping them into the jar. And I do cure them in between. I don't do the whole hand and cure. I do a couple nails and then cure, because I don't want to accidentally nick the nail. And then also, that's uncured gel polish. It is a base coat, so it does have a tendency to move. It's not going to move a lot, but I don't want to risk getting gel polish or the base coat into my cuticle or my side walls. I wasn't 100% successful in this, but I did a pretty good job in this video. So you just want to make sure that you are keeping your side walls and your cuticle clean of the base coat. So if you have to cure each nail or flash cure each nail and then go in and do a full cure, then definitely do that. Whatever you have to do to make sure that you don't get that product on your skin. And if you're using thin, even layers, you're not going to get too much on your skin or moving around. The reason that I'm going in with the base coat and the dip powder is because for me, a lot of the times I feel that these full coverage tips need just a little bit more of added strength. These have a pretty good C curve, and they are coffin shaped, so they are a little bit stronger than, say, the stilettos, but these are long nails, so I just wanted to add a little bit more strength. It's not necessary, it's something that's optional to you, but for me, when I'm wearing these, I always add strength, and that can be acrylic, that can be builder gel in a bottle, or that can be your acrylic as your dip powder. And like I said, I do have a playlist showing a lot of different methods for my full coverage tips, so definitely check out that playlist, and that will be on the end screen. So before you go in, so after you do all your nails, you do a full cure, and I did cure this a little bit longer. I cured this for 90 seconds. I think you should probably just cure it for 60, but I did it for 90 seconds. And then after I pulled it out of the light, that's when I took all that excess dip powder off. So you want to make sure it's cured before you dust it off. And then I'm just going to go in with a second coat of dip powder, just doing exactly the same thing. Thin layer of the base coat, pour the dip powder on, put that in the lamp, and then dust off the excess. Okay, so Okay, so now I am just making sure that I hear that clacking sound, that when you tap against the nail, if you hear that click clack sound, then that means that everything is fully cured. I'm just gonna go in with 100 grit file and just clean up my sidewalls and my shaping a little bit. I didn't have too much to clean off. This application actually was one of my better applications. I just really took my time, and that's the other thing. Don't feel in a rush to do a whole set of nails within an hour. I just did one hand, and it took me about an hour and a half just to do one hand. So if I would have done this on myself on both hands, it would have taken me 3 hours. So if you're doing your nails yourself, it's really no pressure to get like it done. You're not working in a salon. You don't have another client. So just really just take your time. I feel like on the sets where I take my time, I always have a better application than when I'm trying to rush or worry about time. So for beginners, just really take your time and perfect each nail one by one, whatever you need to do to just get the neatest application that you can. So after I clean up the shape, I'm going to go around the cuticles with my E-file, and this is a medium grit crosscut bit. And then my bits, all of the bits I use, except for the sanding band, mostly are from Pana, and I do have those bits in my Amazon storefront, and that is under e-files and bits. So and hand files. So definitely, if you're looking for inexpensive bits, definitely check out that list in my Amazon storefront, and that link to the storefront is in the description box below. So I'm just going around the cuticle and the sidewalls, making sure that that is even, making sure that that area is, there's no lifting, there's nothing on the skin. And after I'm done with that, I'm going to go over each nail with a 100 grit file. These are pretty smooth, so I really don't have to do too much filing, but you don't need a coarse file for this step either, just because you're using base coat and you are mixing it with acrylic, but it still does not require a coarse sanding band. I feel like I get the better results too when I use like a medium, file. It doesn't require a coarse file. I feel like I get better results when I'm using a medium or a fine file anyway. So after I go in with that medium grit, I'm gonna go ahead and just buff out the nail. Make sure that it is smooth to the touch and just run your finger along the nail. I didn't leave in the filing of all the nails, but I did do one more nail, and on that nail I just went right in with the buffer. I didn't use that 100 grit file at all. So this doesn't require a lot of work after the fact. I think most of the work comes with the prep of the nail and the application of the full coverage tip. And once you have that, you shouldn't have too much filing. You want to let the shape of the nail be the shape of the nail, because that's the point. And then when you're applying that base coat on top, you're not changing the shape, you're not changing the structure of the nail, you're just painting on thin layers. So it really shouldn't take too much filing to get that surface smooth. So after that, you want to make sure that you go in and clean off the nail. I prefer to dust the nail off or wash my hands to using alcohol or an alcohol acetone mix, because I feel like it affects the application of the base coat. And that's actually what I did here. I went in with some swipe, and I feel like that residue was still on there. So when I applied my base coat, which I did off camera, I felt like it was starting to peel a little bit or to shrink a little bit. I do prefer using soap and water and just cleaning the nails that way. So I did apply a base coat, and then I cured that in the lamp for 30 seconds. Now I'm just going in with some gel polish, and I will let you guys watch me paint the nails. I'll let you guys watch me apply the crystals. I only did one coat on camera. I did the second coat and the top coat off camera. but I will let you guys watch me paint the nails, and I'll be back to talk about the products I used in this video in a second. Okay guys, so what I used for this video was some Model 1's gel polish. This is in color 1102. I could not find it in Amazon. This is color 1410. That is in my Amazon storefront, and that's the rose red kit. This is a white from Model 1's 1323, and you could find white pretty much anywhere. It's not a very special white, so I didn't add that to my Amazon storefront because I couldn't find the same kit that I purchased it in initially. The products that I used from Madame Glam was the Builder Gel in a bottle, the no white top coat, and I used their base coat. Unfortunately, I don't have a discount code for them. I used Not Polish in First Nude. I do have a discount, which will be in the links down below. For my prep, I used Kiara's Sky Step 1 and 2 from their jelly tip starter kit. And these nail tips that I used were from AliExpress, and I will link the store in the description box as well. So I just wanted to say thank you guys for watching. Definitely show your support for my channel by liking this video and giving it a thumbs up. I'm going to clean up these side walls a little bit, and here are the finished nails. I think these turned out cute. It is a very simple design, but that's what I like. So let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Again, thanks so much for watching. Definitely leave me a comment down below. Give this video a thumbs up. Share this video. And I will see you guys soon for another one. Thanks for spending your time with me.